Hiya and welcome back to the Finch Keeper. This is just an update on the report that I had, or should I say the complaint that I had made against me concerning my birds. The council didn't actually come out, the housing officer didn't come out at all. I did speak to him, took a week to get hold of him, and finally he did manage to contact me. And what it was something to do with an inspector that came out, totally unrelated to my birds. It was to do with just a housing inspector. His job was just to come out and make sure that the council had done all the jobs that they were supposed to do in the property, and to see if any other little jobs needed doing. He took it upon himself to make a complaint about my birds because he actually came around at a time when the aviaries needed cleaning. I couldn't get the proper bedding that I needed for the floor, so I had to use a cheap version, which is Easy Bed. The first day, or sorry, the first couple of days, it normally smells quite nice. It smells of pine, fresh cut pine, and everything. And after a few days, it tends to smell a bit musty and mouldy. That's what I found with it anyway. And I don't normally use that stuff. I usually use Orbeos, or I can't pronounce it properly. Orbeos. It's basically it's just a kiln dried hemp, and they use it for horses. Just to do their stables, etc. The same as Easy Bed, but the only thing is one's treated and one's not. And the one that wasn't treated was the stuff that is the Easy Bed, and it does tend to go. It smells nice at first. I must admit, it does smell really nice. It's all fresh, but it's not very good absorbent, to be honest. And like I say, within a short space of time, it loses that appeal, should I say? And I went over to Orbeo's a few years ago because of its cleanliness. It's very lightweight. It's like balsa wood. It's very light. It's kiln dried. It's clean, and there's no odours whatsoever. It can be a little bit dusty, but there's no smell, and it lasts a lot longer as well. It does cost a little bit more though, but not that much. It's only £2 or £3 more for I think it's a 40 20 kilo sack, something like that. It's quite a large bale. I would say they're both used for horses. But when he came round, they did need a cleaning. But to be honest, um, they were all molting. All the birds were molting, and it would have been kind of pointless because they were coming to the end of their molt anyway. So I only had to wait about a week, if that, and then clean it all out and put the new stuff in. But at the time, I couldn't get Easy Bed. So I couldn't get the Orbeos because nobody had it in stock. So I had to use Easy Bed, which was a cheaper version. So he had me over a barrel really, and no, it didn't really smell that bad. And I did also find out that he was discussing my personal, what was going on, my personal life, I guess, and my private life, or whatever, with next door neighbours. So it's very unprofessional, and I kind of think that's a breach of privacy, really. I could have complained about it, but I didn't. Um, anyway, I spoke to the housing officer because he got in contact with me through phone, and I explained everything to him. Um, he was quite understanding, and I said to him, "Look, my birds are more important to me than pretty much myself, really. As long as they can't go shopping for themselves, they can't. They rely everything on me. I understand that." And he was okay, no problem. And he did say, "I don't think I need to come out." When I explained everything, and I did say to him about the bedding, I said, "Look, it's not an excuse. But I haven't cleaned the flat up just for the show, and I haven't cleaned my birds out just for show." And he did say to me, "How many have I got? And have I got rid of certain amounts?" I said, "Look, when the guy come out, the problem was I had a lot of the juveniles left from last year. Now I can't sell them because they hadn't molted at the time, and that's what I was waiting for." I said, "That's why it looked overstocked and it looked like there was a lot of birds here." But there wasn't really a lot of birds anyway. It's just the fact that I had juveniles. Birds have to breed. It's just nature. You have to accept that. And obviously they bred, and I kept them in a holding cage until they were ready. Wait till they molted out to their final colours, and I said, "Yeah, they've gone." I said, "But I'm not getting rid of the other birds because some of them are old. Well, quite a few of them are old. Some of them have disabilities, and nobody really wants to take on birds like that. They don't really care for them. They don't look after them well, and they don't have the time, whereas I do." Um, some of the birds are younger, where some of the old ones have died, and I've kept some of the babies because I kind of like them. But I said they're pets. That's all they are. So I'm not breaking any of your I'm not breaking any of my tenancy agreement. I'm not breaking any laws. I said you can come around here any time, bring the RSPCA if you can find one fault with them. I said I'll happy to get rid of them. I said some of the birds I've got here are hand tamed, they're hand reared, they've been looked after, and they've been here. You know, one of them is like 7 years old. One of the birds should have died years back. He's in the wild, or apparently they only live for 7 years, and that's the long-tailed finches. Um, he's got to be 10, 11 years old now, and he's still for me now doing fine. He's happy as Larry. And I said, look, if you want to come out, pay me a visit. Don't have to put a card from my door. Um, uh, don't have to announce yourself. If you're in the area, just turn up. I said that way it's I don't get a chance to clean anything up just to impress you. I said because I'd rather you come around and see it as it is. And he said to me, I don't think I need to. He said, by the sounds of it, I think the bloke was making something out of nothing. I said, well, I don't think he was making something out of nothing because I could have been someone who wasn't looking after him. I said, but he just come around on the wrong time. I said, at some point, anybody who keeps birds will know at some point you get to a stage where you've run a little bit short of money, or you can't get the products that you need, or you just haven't had that time for a short space of time. You just haven't had the time to get in and clean them out. Sometimes that happens. I've been keeping birds here for years, years and years, and it's at some point it's going to happen. There's no way you're always going to have that time. But, I mean, they get fed every day, fed, watered, bath every single day, and I don't just change them. I scrub them and clean them every single day. Those drinkers and their feeders and their baths, every single day. I'm in this kitchen, I clean them, and they get prepared best meal. They get all the best products, all the expensive stuff, and I don't waste time. I don't cut corners, and I get them vegetables every day, all a good variety of vegetables. And I explained this, and he said, "Don't worry." He said, "You're worrying yourself over nothing." I said, "No." I said, "It is a bit worrying when someone makes a point about the birds and they're saying that they're mistreated or something like that." I said, "It becomes very personal." So and I did say, I said, "Look, I haven't broken any rules. I haven't broken any laws. I'm well within my rights." I said, "I don't want to make something out of nothing because there's nothing to make something out of, if that makes sense." He says, "Yeah, I understand." And he said, he was quite diplomatic about it. And for the council, I'm not saying that. Sometimes they can be funny, but that's only if you're being funny with them. As I said in the previous video before I knew what the results were going to be. Now, their concern is for the welfare of the birds, the condition of their property, and that you're not annoying anybody which is local with the birds, whether it's a health hazard. And they all know the thing as well. They don't want mice, lice, um, rats, obviously any kind of rodents or lice, mites, fleas. They don't want none of that passing from because if you keep pets, it can become like an infestation or breeding ground for those. But mine, I don't have none of those problems here. Anybody who watches or anybody who knows me personally will know how clean I am. How fussy I am about things like that. I mean, some of my birds I have to give to. They have to go to pet shops or other people who've got birds. So obviously I don't want to pass on any problems to them because their birds are getting infected or get problems as well. So the top priority is make sure my birds that are leaving this property are in 100% tip-top health, and I like to check them first so that they can't say, "Oh, my birds died because of this," and then all my other birds have died because of yours, because I know that won't ever happen. It's never happened so far in all the years that I've sold birds, or some of them have died from what I've been told, but that was through their own problems. Birds being attacked through the cages, through bird of prey, rodents and stuff like that. So there's nothing really down to me. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I am allowed to keep the birds. There's not a problem at all. They're quite happy that there's been no complaints from my neighbours. My neighbours quite like birds anyway. And I did say to them that the police, which is true, quite a lot of the police force have been out, and they used to visit quite regularly just to look at the birds, really, just to admire them. And if they had a new bobby on, a new beat officer or whatever, they'd bring them around and introduce them to me and show them the birds, and they don't mind. I didn't mind. Quite happy for that. I've had two people at the same time come from environmental health, and that was about another problem. Nothing to do with me. That was something to do with downstairs, all the noise and everything. and they come out, and they was only supposed to be here 20 minutes, and now they were here for a good hour and 40 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And they did say, we're only supposed to be here 20 minutes. I said, well, I'm not stopping you. They said, well, it's these birds, you know, they're just so interesting. And I said, I said, to be honest, I was expecting like you to sort of pick up on something or make a complaint. And they did say, well, to be honest, we've been to places that don't have pets, and you've actually got to wipe your feet on the way out. So I said, well, it's a bit of an honour. I said, but I try my best with them. I said, you know, you can only do so much for any human. And they were quite impressed. They said the cleanliness of it, and how well, you know, their well-being, how well they look, how happy they are. They're all singing in there as usual, as they do, and none of them look sick. And all the ones that do have problems, like some of them are past now with time, and like some of them couldn't fly, and some of them had broken legs, or some of them had like tumours, and you know, and even they seemed quite happy at the time. You know, no problems at all. But you know, with age, a lot of those did die from old age, not from the illness or the disabilities. So, and they were quite impressed with that. Not as much as me though. But yeah, that's the other thing. Housing officers. Another thing I did say is I've had housing off. I've actually had, from what I can remember, I've had about 3 housing officers here before in the past. Anyway, they never said anything. They were just quite taken back by the birds. They were quite admired by it. I did say to them then, I said, it's not a problem. I said, no, I don't see any problem at all. None of my cages are fixed to the building, attached to the building in any way. They're all freestanding. No, I said there's no damage to the property. But if you do have an indoor aviary, and you want to attach it to the building, or you want to convert a room, just don't go ahead and do it. Make sure you get permission first, because at the end of the day, you've got to remember it's their property. It's their property, not yours. You're only renting. You don't own it. So you've got to have that kind of respect, really, and check your rental agreement. So make sure you're allowed to. I'm trying to think what else really I can put in this video, because I don't want to make it too long, but I do want to get everything in there that I can. Yeah, well, I'll say they're happy with it anyway. He was happy. He didn't seem to want to waste the time coming out, because I think he knows by the sound of what I was saying to him that it would have been a wasted journey. The only thing he would have seen was some nice birds for for an hour or half hour or whatever, and while he could have been out doing other jobs. So I understand that. So yeah, it's a quick video. And before I go, I know I always say it, but before I go, I just want to let you know that the next video I plan will be about, it's an unusual one, but it's not. It's about feathers. Now, feathers is quite a big topic. Not a lot of people understand about feathers. For instance, there's not just one type of feather. There's several types. So I want to discuss this. And a lot of people have been complaining about some of their Gordian finches and some canaries, etc., that they're going bald, and they don't understand why. And a lot of people keep saying it's about iodine, and it's all this, and they're diseased, or something like this. I'll tell you now, well, I'm not even going to say it, I'll just leave it for the other video, because I'm kind of annoyed. Every time I hear someone say it's iodine, you know, it just annoys me. It's nothing to do with iodine. 9 times out of 100, about 1% of the time it's iodine, most of the time it's not. I don't know exactly what it is. You'll have to wait for the next video. And the video after that, I do plan to do another one, which is to define the difference between twirling and stargazing. Now, stargazing and twirling, they're kind of branded in the same category, but they're really not the same at all. They're completely different, and I will explain all of that in as much detail as I can. So when you see, I'll try and get some video evidence as well of the two, so you can see one bird who's actually stargazing and one bird is actually, you know, twirling. You'll see the difference straight away. And one of them's easily curable. You can do it in seconds, and the other one maybe a little bit longer, depending on what it is. So I'll go into more detail with that. I'll save that for another video. I don't want to go into it on this one. So anyway, I'm allowed to keep the birds. There's no problems whatsoever. It's just finch keeper as usual. So I will be making quite a few more videos in the near future, hopefully, if all goes well. I do want to start doing another thing as well. At the end of my videos, I might, if people are interested, like at the time, if I do get enough time to do it, if you can post maybe short video clips, just a 5 or 10 second, or maybe 20 seconds. If it's too long, it'll be too long for the video. And then or even pictures with your name, like you use it, your Facebook username or something, and I'll add it to the end of the video. So once I've done the video, it will go over into videos, your video clips or photos. Maybe if it's a photo, maybe I'll just put it in the corner and just as to play the next video, so it will drift into one photograph to the next. I don't know. I'll see what I can do anyway. It's just an idea. Anyway, this is a bit of a hot day today because we're having a bit of a heat wave. So I want to get out there and cool down, have an ice cream or something, and just enjoy the day. So I'll get on to the next video as soon as I can, and I'll catch you later. See you later.